Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You already know this is Ron the Don, and I'm going to provide you some information in this video from an electoral standpoint about why Jasmine Crockett has lost the election for U.S. Senate out in Texas. Now, despite the fact that most of her supporters claim that she lost because she's a black woman and due to racism and sexism, I'm going to give you a different perspective about why she lost. Now, first of all, Texas is a Republican state to begin with, right? And despite the claim that Texas is a majority minority state, meaning that the majority of the people in Texas are people of color. However, what they mean by people of color is that they encompass blacks and Latinos and other non-blacks is included when they say people of color. So there it is, right? And also Jasmine Crockett's whole branding and rhetoric is divisive. She ran her campaign based on opposing Trump and her being a victim of white supremacy. That strategy is not going to work in Texas, where a state that Trump has won by a 14% margin. Okay? So her rhetoric and her branding, her message may have worked in a deep blue state such as New York and California, but Texas is a red state, which is Republican. So that strategy is not going to work in Texas, and it hasn't, which is the reason why she lost. Now, she lost to a Texas statesman named James Telerico. Now, James Telerico, he has a similar message, not similar message, he has a similar policy standpoint as Jasmine Crockett. They both equally progressive. However, James Telerico marketed his campaign much different than Jasmine Crockett has. Now, James Telerico ran a similar message to Bernie Sanders on economic issues and unifying the electorate. He has targeted not only the Democrat progressive base, but he also targeted moderates, independents, and Trump supporters. Something Jasmine Crockett has refused to do. Matter of fact, Jasmine Crockett has alienated Trump voters. And she also alienated the Latino population, which is included in the population of people of color. Yes, people of color are the majority of the population in Texas. However, that includes Hispanic voters who she alienated. And Hispanic voters have voted for Trump. Matter of fact, Trump has won the Latino vote in Texas by a wide margin. So when she said, when Jasmine Crockett made the claim that Hispanic voters has a slave mentality, she alienated them. She demonized Trump supporters similar to how Hillary did when she called Trump supporters a bucket or a basket of deplorables. That's not a good campaign strategy if you're trying to reach out to the Trump supporters. And she needed that constituency in order to win the primary, because there's some Democratic voters in Texas that voted for Trump as well. So she needed that constituency. But instead she alienated them and demonized them. That is the main contributor to why she has lost. And not only that, she was also, on a policy standpoint, she also supports Israel. She's taking AIPAC money from Israel. That doesn't play out well with her progressive base, who is pro-Palestine. So she basically she she disappointed some of the progressive base of the Democratic Party, the base that she mostly um tried to appeal to. And so it's not, so the whole reason of her losing is not just based on her being a black woman. It's her rhetoric and her branding. And also she didn't do enough groundwork in Texas. She didn't bother to make an attempt to try to reach out to Trump supporters either. So that is the main contributor to why she lost. Okay? Now, are there some race are there according to their perspective, according to the perspective of progressives and the people who wants to focus on race, are there some voters in Texas that's not too fond of that's not maybe too fond of race, or don't focus much on race? Yes, the voters in Texas, the Democrat voters in Texas, they don't focus as much on race as the voter constituency in a blue state, which is which is why she lost. Okay, so it's numerous reasons to why Jasmine Crockett has lost, but it's really her branding, her messaging is the main contributors, though. So this is not a standpoint of race, even though most of the majority of her supporters focus on race. Everything is not all about race. The people in Texas, they focus more on policy. Okay, that constituency focused more on policy, unlike the constituency in Democratic states. Okay, but that's my 2 cents on the issue, and I will catch y'all in the next video. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment. All right? Okay, I will catch y'all in my next video. Peace.